Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us today. Hope you're all well. Let me just do a couple of things. So what I first would like to do is just give you a bit of background into ROS. I know some of you have got some ROS knowledge, but I'm just going to give you a quick rundown. We don't just do switchers. We do a whole plethora of stuff. You could almost call us a one-stop shop. I'm not going to go into all this just now because I want to concentrate on the TouchDrive and its ease of use. It's kind of revolutionary in the way that you operate, in that there's lots of it's all about ease of use, because we all know that sitting in front of a desk, the important thing is to not get confused about where things are, but then but more important, to concentrate on the actual show itself. So there's various ways to help us do that. These little menus here, for instance, you touch on them and they bring up other menus. They're interactive. Various ways of do things. I'll go into these kind of things as the day goes on. And this is all integrated. There's various ways of connecting to the Ultra. I've got an Ultra attached to my TouchDrive just here. And there's various ways to do that, either via a soft panel, the dashboard itself, how to configure it, etc. And obviously you can bring up memories and all sorts of things. There's other integration, into external integration via the Live Assist, and these bring in other bits of equipment, for instance, Expression, the Tria, and the Ultrix. The family, our new family of TouchDrive panels, encompasses the 5 different models. There's the baby, the TD1C, which actually fits in a rack, so very useful for flight cases, etc. The TD1 for small setup. I will hasten to add, all panels can connect to any part of the frame. So it's just a case of that particular row, you designate what that row is going to look at, and that will become apparent very soon. The TD2, again, a popular desk, but by far the most popular model, and in fact the one I've got next to me, is the TD2S with the memory module sitting in the middle there. And then there's the big desk, which is the 3S, which has 3 rows. And you can see on the right-hand side there that you can either sit above the panel, but it obviously looks and feels a lot nicer when it's mounted within it. Various ways of having aux panels. You can do it for the straightforward RCPs, or using some of our Ultra Touches. All in all, you get the TouchDrive. Okay, so this, what you're seeing now, if I just come out of full screen, this is dashboard. This is our glue that fits everything together. We connect almost all ROS products to the dashboard, if not all of them, but 98% or so, which comes down the tree here. I'm just going to go full screen, so that becomes obviously easier to read for you. Now, if I go just push this back, now what you're seeing is TouchDrive panel here, and the one of the multi-viewers. Okay, there are 4 multi-viewers within the Ultra. I can go into details later if you like, about questions about the Ultra itself, about its capabilities and things, but first of all, I just want to concentrate on the TouchDrive. Excuse me. So the page I'm in at the moment is the config page, 24 inputs, and you'll see down the left-hand side, there's information about the Carbonite. So that refers to our old Carbonite panels. But then the column next to it is all about the TouchDrive, where you can, for instance, you can now color them in any shape or form, even change the text color and the background color. All about making it easy to group your cameras together, your servers together, and your MEs, all that sort of stuff. Okay. So if I now go, I'm actually going to take this side by side, and hopefully you can still see enough of the dashboard, see what's going on, and the panel itself. and I just want to go into certain parts of it. So if I just go into, this is an example of the device integration. So I've got the pivot cam is sitting above. I've got control of that from the actual dashboard itself. That dashboard, sorry, what I didn't mention was there's an actual, can we see it in this shot? Just about. There's an actual dashboard panel in here, which is part of the TouchDrive, which is a direct connection to the drive, takes its power from the drive. So there's no, but you can of course have a separate PC, which is what you're seeing on this side. So you can actually see it, see what I'm doing. Okay, so if I just go into mnemonics, you can see here that various different colors, etc. And go across to the trans area. And I can even zoom in just a little bit. And you can see things like, hopefully that'll focus. So on top of your keys here, it tells you exactly what's on those keys, tells you the trans rate, etc. And those colors, by the way, they relate to what you set up on that initial config page. Okay. So as an example, how this machine works, dissolves or dissolves. Basically any box, let's just come out a little bit. Any box on these displays, anything with a box around it means it's interactive. Anything without a box is not. So for example, the background is not interactive because you kind of don't really want anything to happen behind that. But everything else with a box, it means it's interactive. And if I just go in again. So as an example, if I want to do a wipe, I can click on the actual wipe itself and then scroll across to whatever particular wipe I want to use. Let's say a diamond wipe, or sorry, diagonal wipe. Okay, so it's just a little example. If I put this menu here onto Live Assist, you'll also notice that as I go through these things, the dashboard will follow along. So in dissolve or a wipe or DVE move, and I can obviously select it here as well, do that transition. Okay, it's all about ease of use. And if I go back across to the mnemonics, just before I go there, I'm going to show you just a few things within personalities now. And I know this is something that legacy Carbonite users will be so pleased about. Bus mapping can now be done within dashboard. Okay, so a very simple layout. So I've got 25 inputs here, or 25 buttons, should I say? 24 inputs, 25 buttons. And let's say I wanted something in there. I can choose what physical input, an internal input, an auxiliary, or canvas, whatever it may be. So if I put aux2 in there, you'll see now in that slot there, it's put aux2 in that slot there. I'm just going to clear that down, go other, and go none, because the another way of doing it is if I press preset, and then go assign. I'm going to assign. Hopefully you can see this okay. It says, I'll put an auxiliary here. I want to assign in this slot here. So I'll press that on my preview, press auxiliary, and just so you can, for ease of use, I'm going to put aux20 in there. And you can see in this slot here, it says aux20, press exit, and now aux20 is sitting in there. Okay. And now if I go back to the configuration, as another example of what we can do, I go to internal and down to auxiliaries, auxiliary 20. You'll see the little icon here where it says auxiliary. You can obviously change that. So if I went auxiliary, and let's say it's I don't know, a satellite feed or something, I can change it to a satellite feed or an OS. Or indeed, let's say it's a sport. Let's say it's I don't know, skiing or something. So now, and just for a bit of fun, I go live assist, media, clip player. I'm going to load in I've lost it. There it is. Load in that. And then I need to assign us aux20 now, don't I? So aux20 is going to be the clip player. So on that input now, I'm going across the OB, skiing OB. And there you go. Okay. There are lots of other little tips and tricks as well inside the menu. You can actually, so everything externally, all the external inputs, all the internal inputs, all buses are available to put on the map, all auxiliaries, but you can also insert or delete. So if you want to shunt things up, or obviously, or delete things, you can also do that, or indeed clear. So if I went clear, and then actually, no, do you know what? I don't want that. Clear that, press escape, and it's gone. Okay, lots of little things to kind of help you do your stuff. And then just for those who are scared that they might touch something, if I'm just, you can press this, touch lock. Now do whatever you like, and it's dead. Okay, for those with sausage fingers, etc., or with a heavy-handed wrist, whatever it may be. The display itself, if those Carbonite users, that is still here. If I just go onto here, that is still in operation. With the one little added benefit of these little arrows here, they are now active. So I can scroll through and do as I please. Okay, if I press menu, those status menus, etc., the personalities and the load and all the config stuff, you can still do absolutely everything this method. But with just as dashboards kind of got advanced, there's so much more easier and better ways to do it within dashboard. And one of them is, again, within personalities, is the user selects. Those user selects refer to, I'll need to just come out. Those user selects refer to this top row here, okay? You can put whatever you like on there. And I mean, I've got a few things to help me do this presentation, for example. I mean, if I pressed key 1 select on, that then automatically changes to be key 1. Okay, key 2 select, whatever. Okay, and now the 4th button along, for example, is MEPP and ME2 and ME1. What that does is change this row directly to those things. Okay, or indeed there's other methodologies to do that. You can actually press if I take the lock off, press MEPP, press that, and then choose that one there. Now this is ME1. Okay. So various ways of changing stuff and moving things around. But those buttons there, these user select buttons, once upon a time, you were semi-limited what you can do with them. But now we've opened all that up where you can actually bring in particular custom controls. So any custom controls you've made, or in macros, maybe some people call it, you can actually bring in a particular custom control, or indeed a particular memory. Let me just pick either a memory bank to select, or a particular memory, whatever that may be. Okay. So as an example, these are here. Hopefully you can see. But this is one of the things it does. That little setup there changes stuff around. Now, as far as the drive is concerned, I'm kind of now ready to interact with you, really. So give me questions, and we'll take it from there. Or if you want me to go into the features of the Ultra itself, I'm more than happy to do so. So if we want to, I'll just have a scroll through the questions, if there are any at the moment. This is I'm reading from bottom up. Did I miss something? Internal clip player. Yes, there's an internal clip player. So within Live Assist or within Media, there's various ways of getting it. Within Media, and then clip player. These are all loaded on to my USB stick, and that USB stick is obviously sitting in the frame. Some of these are 720s, and some of them are 1080s. And yeah, you can play all sorts of stuff. Use it for loops. So in terms of the file size, it's purely determined by the size of that drive that you, or the size of your USB stick that you have. And I'm just sorry, bear with me. I'm just reading these. Actually, Raphael, thank you. You're answering questions on behalf. Thank you. Okay, 6 keys it looks like, but 2 are grayed out. Future use, absolutely correct. We are future proofing. So I can't say anything. Watch this space is what I'm going to say. Because those of you who do know Ross, we are always developing stuff. Almost, well, we're now the Ultra is now on 5.03, which is a new release that actually happened 10th of February, I believe the date is. So yeah, constantly evolving. If there's any other questions, if not, I'm happy to just delve into. Could you zoom in tight on the panel and show me the swipe? Sure. So if I go to there, and then I'm just going to use the display to actually zoom in. Is that tight enough? One would hope so. So it goes on a wipe, for example, or I don't know, I'll use a DV. These are inbuilt, the DV moves. And hopefully you can see it, hopefully my fat fingers don't get too much in the way. All right, let's say I wanted to choose that one there, top down, press auto. In fact, I need to give it different background. Okay, and this box here says forward. You can change it to be forward, reverse, flip, flop, whatever. So let's go backwards. So it pulls it back up. Okay, in the memory section, I zoom across, just go there. In fact, sorry, I'm just going to zoom in again to just pan that around a bit. Hopefully, you know what, I'm going to do this. Memory's top row. In this section, this is a memory. We've put in inclusions in that memory. So the memory bank itself, you can either, this is a 2S, so it has this special module. You can either, excuse me, talk to the local row, or indeed you can talk to any part. So if I press all and then press ME, these are all lit. So I'm talking to 1, 2, and PP. The mini MEs, I'm talking to 1, 2, 3, and 4. Canvases, I'm talking to 1 and 2. Chroma keys, I'm talking to 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. But in local row mode, I can go bank 3, 2, and you see that's an effect that was on ME2. I put ME2 to line. If I just change this, what this row is looking at, so it actually looks at ME2. So bank 3, 2, and did that. That's 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, and so on and so forth. Now, of course, that memory itself, I can take into a custom control and do, so there are actually these 3 here. So that's center forward, and there's a hold on that. So I'll push it again, it'll go backwards. Same as the left, backwards and back out. And the other little thing, just to show you the integration behind this one here, this center plus, actually talks to, if I'll quickly show you it, CC1, it is, just got to quickly find it. Where are you? I thought it was 8. Hold on a minute. Oh, sorry, I'm in the wrong bank. It's here. This one here, it's in bank 7, sorry. There's a command in here to talk to the expression, okay? So hopefully, by pressing this one here, it's going to pull it out, talk to the expression. That's because there was a caption already there. Wait for me to pull it back. I'll just quickly do that again. Bring it forward, trigger it, wait for, I think it's set to be 100 frames or something. Wait, see it goes gray. It's now ready for it, it's on a wait, okay? Custom controls, for those who don't know, you can have up to 28 concurrent custom controls running, which is more than enough for anyone. So let me go back to the chat. You zoom in. So hopefully that answered your question about the zooming in tight. Is there a way to save a stripe delegations like panel memory in stripe? I'm not 100% sure what you mean by that. They save stripe delegations. You can, of course, save the whole thing. By configuration, system, these are sets. And in these sets, they will save everything. Or you can save the personality. The bus mapping is sitting in personality. Installation is obviously the inputs and outputs, custom controls, memories, or save all. So you can recall and save any one or all of them. Do the clips need to be transcoded? No, they are MP4s, H.264s. So extremely easy to put on board. And the easiest way to put them on board is like an FTP client, something like FileZilla or something like that, which is what I use all the time. TouchDrive panel is that a single size? Can you connect more than one? No, you can actually connect 3 panels. So in you need to, I won't go into where they are, but yes, you can connect 3 panels, and there's a menu called multi-panel. You can actually delegate which panel is looking at what region of that. So you can, let's say you had I don't know, a studio A, B, and C, and studio B was actually feeding into A. So you might want them just to have control of ME1 or something. So you can designate just ME1 to that satellite 1 panel. Okay. What do I need to learn about Linux since TouchDrive internal uses that? You don't actually need to learn anything at all about Linux. Linux just works. So there's no prior knowledge required. Could you show me how to save a custom control? Well, actually saves on the go. I'll show you how to kind of edit custom controls if you like. So if I went custom controls, let me pick something. In fact, let's do this. Let's say that center. So these are my instructions. See along the top here, you've got record, append record, which is going to record right at the bottom. Insert record basically inserts above the blue line. Delete will delete the whole thing. Or you can copy the whole thing and plonk it somewhere else. Okay, so let's say this line here, pause of 60 frames. If I want to change that, I double click on that, click in there, and let's say I'm going to pause for, I don't know, 80 frames. Enter. I can either insert, so it'll actually give me 140 frames, or I can replace it. If I press done, then you can read that, 80 frames. Okay. So that's an easy thing to do. Or let's say I wanted to pull up a different ID from the expression. Again, double click that and went in there, the ID tags. I don't know how much you know about expression, but every item basically has an ID number. 1455, did that, plus replace, and then went to the other half of it. This is the take out bit. 1455, enter and replace. Now with any luck, press done, come out of that. Now with any luck, this will work. And that's the ID of that particular caption. Okay. It's extremely easy to actually go into record, etc. If you find a blank space. 5 in bank 5, bank 1 or something, go into record. Now whatever I press on the panel itself will be recorded. So if I pressed that one there, which is pivot 1, you'll see on the dashboard it comes up MEPP background bus pivot 1. Okay, and then let's say I do a pause of 25, enter, insert, and then did an auto trans. Stop recording, and that's it. Chop box, go 5, 5, 1. If I just cut away to something else. Okay. The thing is about custom controls, macros. They're a bit like coffee or whatever. You can, you can keep it as general as you like, as in, I don't know what kind of coffee you like, or you can say like a frappa macchiato or something with like 3 sugars, or I don't know. So you can take things down to the nth degree. For instance, you can take a keyer, you can either say to toggle a keyer, or you can say definitively and not give it an absolute value of, say, like absolutely on or absolutely off, depending on what you're doing. Okay. Let me go down. Hopefully that answers your questions. You can get an overview of the board and its basic operation. I'm not quite sure of that question from Paul. Hi, Paul. Is this a Carbonite with added touch facility or a completely different mixer? Does it have mini me's, etc.? The mixer itself is still the Ultra. The Ultra has 4 MEs and 3 MEs and 4 mini MEs, 8 DVEs, 4 media stores, clip player, 4 chroma keyers. The panel is the new bit. The panel is so you can still connect the old legacy Carbonite panels to the frame. It's just an easier way of operating. In fact, we don't actually sell the old panels anymore. Does TouchDrive have 3D DVE? Just to clarify there, it's actually the Ultra bit that does the DVE. Is as gorgeous as this is, it's still just a posh keyboard in terms of the panel is talking to the frame for its intelligence. Okay, there is obviously handshaking, there's communication going on between the two. Inside the panel itself, the difference is that there's a Linux computer sitting inside here, which drives the dashboard. Where key layer? I'm presuming you're talking about key priorities. So key priorities, it's still, you can actually do they're still defined as in 4 sits over 3, which sits over 2, sits over 1. But in the instance of a media wipe, for example, let me see if I got anything loaded in. If I go into here, media manager, and in fact, I'm going to go this way. Live assist. I go into here, I'll show you this is kind of a scratch pad. I'm going to load in that one there. I'm going to load in that. Okay, if I media wipe running as 1. Helps if I put a different background in, right? If I did that, that, for instance, if I went key 1 and put a key 1 as a DVE and put key 1 to line and then squished it down. And then those of you who are familiar with the way this does it, destination source. So destination 2, source 1, cut that to line, move that across. A very quick way of copying, pasting effectively. So I did that and then got my media wipe and did it manually. So that sits at the background. Now, that's what auto is doing. I'll come back to auto in a sec. So the background definitively will always sit at the background, okay? If I went key 1, it will sit above key 1. It's not the best way to show you this. It'll sit above key 1, but below key 2, and so on and so forth, up to key 4, which is obviously sitting right at the top, okay? So there is key layering within the media wipe. The auto depends on what kind of transition you're doing. So if I did a background in key 2, it will automatically, it'll do it between, it'll go above key 2 to do that and leave 3 and 4 alone underneath, okay? There are little ways to do this kind of key swapping. And I've got to try and remind my brain where I've got them hidden. Custom controls. Are they sitting in here? One. These ones. So let me do that. So if I let's just get rid of all these keys and put ME2 to line this. So it's not the best clip that's running, but it'll work. So top right, out and back, then bottom right.
Chris, I'm not too sure if we've lost some of your share because we're only seeing a box at the moment on the left-hand side. So I don't know if you've done something on NEMI.
What have you seen? What has disappeared? Let me just put things back together again. Maybe I changed things. Is that better?
Yeah, that's better. Yeah, we can see everything back to normal now.
All right, sorry. Hopefully, yeah, thanks for building that up.
It was only 10 seconds. So
excellent.
Don't worry.
Okay, good. I don't have to repeat myself all over again, do I? Top right, pull that forward and push it back. And then bottom right and push it back, and left, slide it across. That is done by a little thing called key swapping. And what that does is, so this, where am I? It's ME2 I'm running this from. So that key there, that's key 3. Okay. By doing a key swap, you can press select and a key up here. So I press select on key 3 and press key 2. Now if I get rid of key 3, it's actually that one there. Okay. So 3's on top, but it's a clever way of getting around this scenario. Okay. Is there an internal audio mixer? By Jiminy, there is. So, audio mixer. 48 channels. You can do whatever you like with this. Fully controllable. So there, I don't know if I've got 2 sources that are actually on the desk. Do I? Yeah, I do. Those 2. See those 2 in the middle? Those 2. So they're set up to be audio follows video. And if I do a transition between those 2, let's just go dissolve. Keep things hopefully simple. You'll see the fader go up and down as well. Okay. There's also compressors, etc., with and graphic equalizer (EQ) on each of those channels. Balance EQ. So I can go into that. I can go. I want the left. Drag that up, down, whatever you like, or you can do it via faders. Okay. You can also pull an external bit of kit called an ABM, audio breakout module, to that. So that's connected to the Ultra, and in turn for analog microphones, etc. For Pres, whatever it may be. Just go back to that. Are the user controls? Wait a minute. Are the user controls that was shown a while ago a cumulative place for all custom controls and memory banks, or just another way of accessing it? They are just another way of accessing it. So those custom controls, you can obviously do them via the dashboard. In terms of the panel itself, if I wanted to see everything on custom control 1, that's bank 1. So I've got everything here. So if I did, I'm not sure if this is loaded up, we'll soon find out. Oh no, actually that's not a wipe. Let me see if I've got anything. You can't, same as the legacy. So these are hard coded to be bank 1. I think this is actually bank 7, but you can press and hold and you get access to them all. So I'm now looking at bank 7, or I'm now looking at bank 3, or so it goes on. I'm just trying to remember where I put all these. Oh, these ones, they're in bank 7. They are in bank 7. So bank 7. Now with any luck, there's one, that replay wipe. If I put something different on the back of it, that'll do. That replay wipe. So that's another way of accessing it. If you don't want to hard code your user buttons, you can pull up the custom control on that user bank, or indeed same method. You can click in here and then choose what's going to be in that on that slot, whether it be a key, an auxiliary, a memory bank, a custom control, or exit. Okay. I think I've done the audio mixer. TouchDrive general ultra question is a way to force the memories to recall globally. Well, I'm assuming you're thinking Grass Valley terms. It all depends how you save that memory. So in the memory section in here, these are the inclusions. So it depends whether, so this memory, so on the store side of things, this memory is going to store, no matter what is looking at, will technically take a memory of everything along here, all MEs, all canvases, all chroma keys, or you can pick and choose, okay? And then break that down. In general, you can also, in a memory, you can actually get it to recall particular media stores, not just a crosspoint as a media store, but the actual media store, because all media stores have a unique ID code, and that's the information it's pulling up. Okay, and then within likes of ME2, you can give it the attributes that you want to recall or store or whatever it may be. For example, I want to remember its type. I want to remember whether it's live or not, but don't want to remember the source. So it's all done with things like that. Okay, and the inclusions will let you know what's going on. Okay, so hopefully that answers your question. Sometimes, are there any cloud options with TD? That question kind of needs to be expanded, really. The cloud options, as in, I'm going to hazard a guess, as in, can you remotely operate it? The answer is yes, you can. In fact, if I go back to come out of here full screen, and with any luck, one of these machines here, this is actually coming from, if I open that up, hopefully no one's on this, because this is actually talking to our Reading office. This is talking to the Ultra in the Reading office. I know, there we go. So that pulls in that information. So in terms of that kind of cloud thing, can you remote it? Yes, you can. There's an option store. I've done that one. If audio is lost, sorry, is audio is lost if you use frame syncs on your sources? No. I'm not quite sure. No, I think you might be referring to audio delay, etc., or video delay. But you certainly do not lose your audio. In fact, I'll just go into that config of that. Oh, I'm now actually talking to the config of the Reading desk. Let me get rid of that. Stop confusion. Go full screen. In fact, I'm going to do this so you can see the TouchDrive a bit more. I mean, the dashboard a little bit more, like that. So yes, on outputs, the audio-wise, you can choose exactly what's going on. So, for example, output 8 has got a custom going on. You can either choose pass-through, which is obviously just going to be what it is, or you can choose standard channels 1 to 16, and obviously in groups. You can change what they're going to be, or customs. You can change what these are, split them up all over the place. Okay. Hopefully that answers your questions. So you can totally customize what output goes where for mix minuses, etc. There's a bit of a specific question I'd say on end slate with copyright 2012. Could we save over that still with another one, 22, whilst keeping the same ID number? You can actually. You can specify what that ID number is in the media manager. I'm just going to pick this one off just because it's here. That's slate number, media number 7 in there. I think you can overwrite that, or you can certainly delete that particular file that you're talking about and then put in a new file in its place. Can you explain the different ways to recall memories? Okay, that's a good one. Right. Memories. Live assist memories. So if I go into the recall side, to cut long story short, make everything orange, okay? And then you will, everything orange basically means it will recall exactly as you saved it, all right? So general PP, ME1, ME2, whatever it may be, okay? But and this will be the scenario for 99% of the time, all right? But let's say you had an occurrence where, I don't know, you had a charity event or something and you had a little bug on your key 4. You've got all these memories going on, and what you don't want is to make all these memories again. What you can do is go on to, so let's PP, force it. So orange is it will recall as it was stored. Blue, it will force recall it. So even if you actually said, I don't want that particular attribute to be recalled, then it will be recalled because it actually secretly stores it. Or this method, blank, it will not restore it regardless of whether you saved it or not. So in that circumstance, if I had a bug that said, I don't know, live TV or something, it would not recall it, and you could overwrite that with a panel that said live TV with a phone number for charity event, whatever it is. Okay, NHS. Not really related to touch display. Let me read it. Not really related to touch display, but related to the dashboard program running on your computer. Does it work on Big Sur on iOS? There are certainly, I don't want to stick my neck out, but there's certainly a dashboard for macOS. I cannot remember what operating system it runs on. Maybe Raphael could help me with that one. I think it does. Oh, sorry, iOS. No. There's talk of doing a dashboard for iOS. That's a watch the space answer. There's a Linux version, there's obviously a PC version, and there is a Mac version, but as I say, I can't can you explain RState? RState is just another kind of snapshot. If I took a custom control, for instance, because there's a thing in custom controls to do, here we are, custom controls, these state attributes, this, you can actually get the desk. So as you, when you recall a custom control, you can actually recall the, I don't want to use this word, but basically a snapshot of that particular area, either the whole thing or parts thereof. And a recall state is a similar scenario. So as an example, I'll show you, so on likes of them on my ME2, if I just put that to line, on here, I'll just zoom in slightly. In there, hopefully you can see all right. That button there, because it's lit up, it doesn't show, but it says local row, okay? So what you, I don't know if you'll see the full effect of this, because what happens is pressing local row and store together, it's a bit like going up to the blackboard and wiping it clean. So it'll put all your sources to black, all your keys to black. So it's really useful for you know, making some sort of setup from scratch, because you don't know what the person before has been doing, right? And certainly I'm not going to press. I'll do the local and store together, and the screen will go black, like so. Put something else to line, or the multi-view will obviously go black. Now, something I'm not going to do, because this 3 box is actually coming from ME1. If I press all and store together, it'll put the whole desk to black. It will basically zero the desk. It's not going to clear out any memories. It's kind of that big blackboard analogy. Oxtrans, right? I'm assuming you are referring to, in the world of Acuity, that Ox transition possibility. In the Carbonite, we have things called mini MEs, and those mini MEs are, as almost the name suggests, like half MEs, where you have 2 keyers but everything and just dissolves. So a very good use of a mini ME is to feed screens with it, or to make up composite chroma keys. So then downstairs you can basically cut between your mini MEs, and you're cutting between pre-made chroma key setups. We lost program. I'm assuming that's because when I reset, that's why I reset the program. Is it possible to configure 2 TDs in different places for a live event? Thinking of disaster recovery scenario. Right, Raphael, thank you. You've answered. Can you have auxiliaries across point? Yes, you can. Just like, oh, let me zoom out. There, aux1 is actually, I've mapped to here, and actually aux1 is feeding. I know you can't see it, but I've got a big monitor over here, and it's feeding that said monitor. So absolutely, you can send things around, and I know a style of vision mixing is to when you have boxes, 2 boxes, whatever it may be, is actually feed those boxes with an auxiliary, and then it keeps things very flexible. So hopefully answers that question. How do you recall a memory in the TouchDrive area? So I did show that earlier, but I can show you again. So if I went there, and this is looking at ME2. So it's a case of, to recall it's a direct recall. So if I went bank 3, now I'm sitting in bank 3, it will stay there. Okay, so anything I press now will just automatically recall. To store something, I need to press store a particular number and then enter. What's safe to do? So let's say 9. You see, hopefully you can see that 9 and 5 currently are not lit. That means there's nothing stored in there. It's on local row, so that means it's just going to store within ME2 on the row that I'm on. So if I press 9 and then store, okay, and then once I press that store, it automatically stays that it reverts back to a recall method. So I went 2 and then 1, 2, whatever. Okay, hopefully that answers your question. How do you delete a memory? Well, I'll do that very one. So that was in Live Assist, memories. That was in under the store. That was in ME2, and was bank 3, and a 9. Highlight 9, delete. Do I want to delete it? Yes, I do. It's gone. It's gone. Okay. I've just got my my floor manager winding me up in electronic terms. All keys. Is your tutorial bank that we can watch later? Well, 2 things. Actually, whoever asked that question, thanks very much, because you just reminded me of something. So within the panels, there is, I love this, there's a panel called Help. The idea behind this panel is that not everyone can remember everything, but as long as you know where to go, then it's half the battle, right? So in here, into the help file, I'll just go full screen again, so it'll help you. If I went in here and wrote DVE, how to set up a DVE key, and that will tell me, step by step, press this button, press that button, and it'll take you through it, okay? There's also, I will actually kind of use this time to wrap up. This is our website. In fact, well, this is the front page, rossvideo.com, and this is all about the Ultra, where you'll find loads of other information. And there's a section about the TouchDrive, where you find loads of other information, and even all the documentation is all there for you as well to pull down, to peruse at your leisure, as they say.